Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
And a very pleasant good afternoon, softball fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Hornets Softball on mybasin.com. Also on air today on 92.9 and 1150 KAGO. My name is Josh Eldridge. So excited to bring you our presentation of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a softball semifinal between the hometown Henley Hornets and the visiting Pendleton Bucks. We come to you live from Henley High School, just south of downtown Klamath Falls, for this semifinal matchup. Winner here gets a chance to play at Jane Sanders Stadium on the campus of the University of Oregon on Saturday. Either the Hornets or Pendleton have the right there, as the Hornets come into today as Skyline Conference League champions, winners of the quarterfinals by a score of 9-8 over Crook County. Meantime, Pendleton really showed dominance against LeGrand on Friday. That was a 14-0 win for the Bucks over LeGrand in 5 innings. As a matter of fact, their 12-2 win in the opening round only lasted 5 innings when they won 14-2, over Estacada. So it has been 2 Mercy Rule victories for Pendleton so far. Henley had a Mercy Rule victory in the opening game of the playoffs, followed by a nail-biter last week against Crook County, hoping for a good showing here in front of their home crowd, what will definitely be their final home game of the season here at Henley High School, with, again, dang near close to it, and it should be a great one this afternoon as the coaches shake hands down there at the plate. And it looks about time to meet the starting lineups today. We'll, of course, start with the visiting Pendleton Buckaroos. They'll be facing off against Annie Campos this afternoon, and their starting lineup goes like this. It'll be Melanie Boatman starting things off as the leadoff hitter for the Bucks, followed by Ella Sams at second base. Batting third is Reese Furstenberg, the designated player for Pendleton. Batting cleanup number 5, the third baseman Sam Wilkes, followed by Avery Quimps at shortstop, batting 5th. Hitting 6th is Avery Crickbaum, the center fielder, with Madeline Schumacher in left field, batting 7th. Josie Jennis is catching today, batting 8th. And batting 9th is Kendall Murphy, the pitcher for the Buckaroos. Again, going up against Annie Campos, who had a bit of a rocky start last week against Crook County in the quarterfinals, but buckled down in the final few innings when her team took the lead. They didn't relinquish it, and it was an offensive day for the Hornets, but some extravagant defense as well. Those are the kind of plays that Henley needs to continue to make to try to make it back to that state championship game for the first time since 2019. It was some flashy plays at shortstop and some nice plays in the outfield for Henley that otherwise this season it hadn't really felt like they'd been making. But here in the playoffs, Henley defense has stepped up in a big way to support their all-conference pitcher of the year, Annie Campos. Hornets today as they meet in the circle wearing their white jerseys that say Henley on it with black pants and a yellow stripe. The Bucks today in all black with green across their front and a green stripe. Green reads Bucks across their jersey. So we are just about ready for first pitch today. So glad to be with you for this semifinal matchup between the Bucks and the Hornets. The first pitch is taken for a strike. 3:58 local time here in Klamath Falls. Leading off, Melanie Boatman. Second pitch to Boatman. That one is taken a little bit wide. Ball and a strike. A little bit of wind as always, sort of blowing out to the northeast or more eastern part of the field. That's right where we're stationed in left field. And so, as we've seen from time to time, including last week, balls are content to catch a jet stream from time to time and get out of this ballpark in a hurry as the 1-1 pitch was fouled off. Makes it a 1-2 count now. So it was on Friday that the Hornets hit 4 home runs in their 9-8 victory over Crook County. Ball and 2 strikes, the count to Boatman. Campos shakes off Fitzpatrick once, now decides on a pitch. Here it is from Campos. It is swung on and missed, and a strikeout to start the ball game for Annie Campos. Boatman goes down on strikes. That brings up Ella Sams. First out in the top of the first. Around the diamond for the Henley Hornets. Behind the dish, it's Lily Fitzpatrick with Susie Nichols at third. Natalie Hudson at short with Samantha Moore at second. Isabel Birch at first base. We'll get you the rest after this as it is a ball. Oh, pardon me, strike called to Sams on the outside part of the plate. So, an 0-1 count now to the second batter this inning for the Bucks. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's going to be in the dirt. Campos losing a handle on that one, just a bit of ball and a strike. In the outfield from left to right for the Hornets, it's Lily Segura, Anna Harper, and Alana Benson in right field. Ball and a strike, the count to Sams. That pitch is a little bit high in the zone, but Sams, a nice job of fouling it off. Ball and 2 strikes now to Sams. Campos already 1 strikeout in this inning, looking for 2. It's the outfield for the Hornets, shaded a little bit to the right. Here's the pitch to the right-handed hitting Sams. It's high in the zone and is going to miss the zone entirely. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sams, second base. Quite the turnout here at Henley High School. Always like getting started just as the school day ends. So that pitch is fouled off. Count remains even at 2. I believe school got off about a half hour ago, maybe more, here at Henley High School, and we've got students lining the outfield fence, parents behind the plate, as you can see, and quite a few folks traveling from Pendleton for today's game, which is always nice to see, some visiting fans in attendance. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Sams, and here's the delivery from Annie Campos. It's taken outside, and the count will run full. Campos, a nice day last week. Only walked a pair against Crook County, and the Cowboys really did work for their 8 runs. Full count pitch. That one is fouled off. Sams seeing a lot of pitches from Annie Campos, and it's one of the ways to attack. We've kind of talked about it all postseason long. Teams out of the gate tend to swing at the first few pitches because Campos tends to be around the zone, and you don't get to see how much her pitches move. And Crook County did it in the later innings and scored some runs, and that's trying to run up the pitch count. That's a bouncing ball towards third. Nichols charging it, and there's going to be no throw, and that'll be a hit for Ella Sams. Infield single, and that brings up Reese Furstenberg. Furstenberg, the designated player for the Bucks today. She bats here with one out and a runner aboard at first. It's Sams. Here's the pitch from Campos. That one is taken for a strike on the outer third. But we'll see if Pendleton might have studied the tape, understand the scouting report on Annie Campos, but still, she's one of those pitchers who you can study all day long, but you really can't tell how much her pitches move until you see them in person. So good chance for Annie to try to jump out in front, keep things where they are. Runner aboard at first, and it's a 1-1 count to Reese Furstenberg. Campos swings, kicks, and fires. Gets in a high fastball, and Furstenberg was a bit late on the swing. It's a ball and 2 strikes. On deck, Sam Wilkes hoping for an opportunity this inning, but a double play in order with the Henley infield cheating a bit towards the second base bag. The 1-2 pitch from Campos on its way. It's taken high. Count runs even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Campos back in the circle now. Here's the 2-2. That is a slow roller towards short. Hudson up with it to second for 1. The throw to beat out the double play is late, and so they'll just get Sams as the lead runner. Furstenberg reaches on a fielder's choice, and that will bring up Sam Wilkes. Wilkes batting with 2 outs and a runner at first. Just getting things started today in the top of the first. The pitch, it's going to be taken for a strike. 0-1 the count to Wilkes. Pitch home from Campos. That one is going to be taken inside for a ball. 1-1 the count to Wilkes now. Wind starting to pick up a little bit, as we've mentioned, blowing out towards left field. Trees are blown for the 1-1 pitch. That'll be taken for a strike. A nice job by Fitzpatrick framing that one up. Second team all-conference, and one of the reasons for that accolade is that ability right there. Frame up a pitch, make it look nice for Annie. It might have been a little bit wide. Fitzpatrick gets in there for a strike. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one is going to miss, no doubt about it. Gets to the backstop, and advancing to second on the passed ball, or wild pitch for that matter, is Furstenberg. And so now in a 2-2 count, the Bucks have a runner in scoring position for their cleanup hitter, Sam Wilkes. And the pitch home. That's lifted high, deep. That one's going to carry, and it is gone. A 2-run blast for Sam Wilkes puts the Bucks out in front, 2-0. Put a jolt into that one. That might have been one of the deepest home runs I've seen hit out of this ballpark, and the Bucks lead 2-0. This brings up Avery Quimps. Quimps settling in now, and the pitch. It's a check swing and called a ball. Held up in time, did Quimps. 1-0 the count to her. Hard hit ground ball foul. And pardon me, the count 0-2 to Quimps as that first pitch called a strike. And so Campos ahead of the 5th hitter this inning with an 0-2 count. Already 2 runs home for Pendleton. The 0-2 pitch on the way from Campos. It is swung on and missed, the off-speed pitch. And that must be the 2-strike pitch. It looked like the scoreboard had it wrong. So the count 1-2 now to Quimps. Nice breaking pitch from Campos there. Had her well out in front. We'll see where she goes here. Decides on the pitch. Fitzpatrick setting up on the inner third of the plate. Here's the pitch. Misses high. 2-2. Outfield shaded a little bit to the right for the Hornets. Here's Campos back on the rubber. That one is hit high into left field. Benson moving over, and that one's going to bounce up against the wall. Harper fields it, tosses it in, but a 2-out double for Avery Quimps. And that will bring up Avery Krigbaum, trying to keep this 2-out rally going for the Bucks. Runner in scoring position for Krigbaum. The first pitch taken for a strike as Campos paints the outside corner. 0-1. Here's the delivery on the 0-1 pitch. That one will be taken outside, maybe a little bit high to Krigbaum. Ball and a strike. Madeline Schumacher is on deck. And the delivery from Campos to see twists and fires. That was a good fastball down Main Street taken by Krigbaum. Ball and 2 strikes now. That one is hit high and foul. Count remains 1-2 to Krigbaum in the opening frame, and Pendleton leads 2-0. One more runner in scoring position in this semifinal match. Here's the pitch from Henley's Campos. Misses inside as Krigbaum had to scoot out of the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count now to Campos, or for Campos rather, to Krigbaum. The pitch, it's a hard ground ball that gets into right field. They're going to wave around Quimps, and she scores. Throw into second is going to be late. And back-to-back doubles score another run for Pendleton here in the first. This brings up Madeline Schumacher. Left-handed batter, first one in the order for Pendleton. Runner aboard at second is Krigbaum. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, Fitzpatrick blocks it. They're going to throw down to third. The throw is late, and in safely is Krigbaum. Pitch a ball to Schumacher. The 1-0 pitch will find the zone on the outer third. Campos good at working away from these hitters, whether they bat from the left or right side. But Pendleton has been good at hitting the balls that are up or down in the zone. The pitch there is going to miss down and in. It's 2-1 now. Hornets shaded to the left. Here's the pitch. That one skips away from Fitzpatrick, but staying put at third is Krigbaum. And so the count now 3-1 to Madeline Schumacher. The pitch in the dirt and a walk for Schumacher. This brings up Josie Jenis, the catcher for Pendleton. Batting now with runners at the corners and 2 outs in the first. Aboard at third is Krigbaum, Schumacher at first. Jeunesse a left-handed bat as well. Here's the first pitch to her. Showing bunt, pulls back, and Fitzpatrick thinking about throwing down to third, but advancing to second in the meantime was Schumacher. So now it's 2 runners in scoring position for Jeunesse. 1-0 the count, and the pitch. That one will miss wide. Count moves now to 2-0 to Jeunesse. Campos decides on a pitch and fires. Hard ground ball. That's going to be hit right to Moore. Throw on to first is in time. Pendleton scores 3 in the inning on 4 base hits. A 2-run shot by Sam Wilkes helps her team get out to a 3-0 lead. We head to the bottom of the first. So we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinals on 92.9 and 1150 KAGO and on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Back with you, getting ready for the bottom of the first inning on 92.9 and 1150 KAGO. Also on mybasin.com for the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinal. Henley trying to answer for a 3-run top of the first inning, and to do it, they'll be led off by Anna Harper in center field. Annie Campos, the pitcher, bats second. Lily Fitzpatrick batting third as the catcher, with Natalie Hudson batting cleanup at shortstop. Lily Segura in left field, batting fifth, with Isabel Birch at first base, batting sixth. Ashlyn Cernowski, the designated player, is hitting seventh, with Samantha Moore, the second baseman, batting eighth. Alana Benson, the right fielder, rounds out the Henley order, batting ninth. It's a quick 0-1 count to Anna Harper, who led off Friday's game for Henley with a home run. See if she can get on base here. That's what the Hornets need. Find themselves down 3 early. You've trailed before, and they've got hot bats as well. But keeping pace with Pendleton this game will be important as Harper lines one towards second, past the diving glove of the second baseman Sams and into center field. A leadoff single for Anna Harper, just what the doctor ordered here in the bottom of the first. Around the diamond defensively behind Kendall Murphy in the circle for Pendleton. It's Jen S. at catcher with Wilkes at third. Quims at short with Sams at second. And Boatman at first. We'll get you the outfield after this. The first pitch to Annie Campos is going to be called a ball. 1-0. Schumacher, Krigbaum, and Elrod in the outfield for the Pendleton Buckaroos. The 1-0 pitch on its way to Annie Campos. That'll be called a strike. High but in the zone for Annie is Kendall Murphy in the circle for the Bucks. Don't know too much about her, but so far, strong delivery. Good placement of that fastball on the outer third makes the count a ball and 2 strikes to Annie Campos. The pitch home. That is a ground ball towards second base. Throw to second is not in time as Harper safe at second. Campos safe at first. And the Hornets have 2 runners on in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up Lily Fitzpatrick with these 2 runners on. She also hit a home run. As a matter of fact, hit 2 home runs back on Friday. She has got some power in that bat. She is the tying run here in the bottom of the first. And Coach Stock going to have a little meeting there as Jewel Northcutt is going to come in and run for Annie Campos. Has been the protocol this season. Northcutt makes smart decisions on the base paths, as do the rest of the Hornets. You don't see them thrown out on the base paths too much or leaving too many runners on base at the end of innings for that matter. All right, Fitzpatrick stepping in for her first at-bat this game. Showing bunt, she pulls back, but it hit off the glove of the catcher, Jen S., and everybody advances. Harper to third. Campos, or Northcutt rather, to second. It's an 0-1 count to Fitzpatrick, but now 2 runners in scoring position for the power-hitting Henley catcher. And we'll see now if the bunt is still on with the runners moved up to scoring position. Here's the pitch to Fitzpatrick. That one kicks away from Jen S. again, but it's called a strike regardless as it graced the outer third. 0-2, the count to Fitzpatrick. Natalie Hudson waits on deck. Here's the pitch to Fitzpatrick. That one's lofted foul, and so Lily Fitzpatrick doing a nice job of staying alive. Big at bat, even though it's early in the ball game, with 2 runners in scoring position in the bottom of the first. Fitzpatrick settles back in, ready for the 0-2. It's taken high, 1-2. Good eye to lay off the high heat there for Fitzpatrick. She's a patient hitter and a good 2-strike hitter too. That's not a characteristic of many power batters, but Fitzpatrick certainly fits the bill. Here's the 1-2. That one's hit hard, and that's going to get down into center field. That's going to score Harper. They're waving Northcutt around, and she's going to score as well. And Lily Fitzpatrick, a 2 RBI double, makes it 3-2. Big double there in the bottom of the first. Still no outs for the Hornets. Hudson hoping to keep this lineup rolling. They can catch fire as they've done so many times this season. Hudson getting her first taste of the postseason long ball last week. And that's going to be a bunt laid down in front of the pitcher. They're going to go to first with it. The throw is in time, but advancing to third in the meantime. And running for Fitzpatrick is going to be Jamie Whitaker. And so she is aboard at third with 1 out in the inning. And that will bring up Lily Segura. Here's the first pitch to Segura. That one is going to find the zone. Segura thought it might have been a little bit inside, but count will be 0-1. Segura takes that one. Ball and a strike to the Henley left fielder. Tying run at third, it's Whitaker. Here's the pitch. It's a hard ground ball towards short. Up with it was Quimps. The throw on is going to be in time. Oh, no, it's not going to be in time as they decide to try to go home with it. And they did. They cut the lead runner down. And so Whitaker cut down trying to score. Aborted first is Segura on the fielder's choice. And the score remains 3-2 for Isabel Birch. First pitch to Birch is called a strike right down the middle. Two outs in the bottom of the first. The pitch bounces 1-1 to Isabel Birch. Swing and a miss on the inside fastball from Birch. 1-2. Settling back in is Birch, awaiting the 1-2 pitch. It's an off-speed pitch that Birch was well out in front of strike three, and that will end the inning. But the Hornets score two on a RBI double from Lily Fitzpatrick. They trail by 1. 3-2 heading to the top of the second inning on mybasin.com.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
We're back in the top of the second inning. The score 3-2 with Pendleton in the lead. And due up this half inning is Kendall Murphy. Then it's back to the top for Pendleton with Melanie Boatman and Ella Sams. Count 1-1 right now to Murphy. And now it's 2-1 to Murphy as she settles back in. Here's the pitch. That is hit into center field and a leadoff base hit for the Pendleton pitcher. And we'll bring it back to the top of the order for the Bucks. It's Melanie Boatman. Pendleton dropping down to 4A this year. It's the OSAA reclassified ahead of the 2022-23 sports season. 5A school in the years past. And as a matter of fact, our regular staples in the playoffs and even championship games at the 5A level as that bunt is laid down foul. Pendleton were actually state champions last year in 2022 at the 5A level, as well as 2018. And Henley trying to make it back to the state final for the first time since 2019 with a win here. It's an 0-2 count to Boatman after back-to-back foul bunts to the Pendleton first baseman, who was 0 for 1 today. She struck out her first time up in the first inning. Now faces an 0-2 count once more. Boatman eyeing down Campos, awaits the 0-2 pitch and takes strike 3 cold in the upper third. Boatman down on strikes twice today. Brings up Ella Sams. Still aboard at first is Murphy. Sams singled and was out on the base paths in the last inning. Campos eyes down the batter. Now the pitch. That'll be lifted in the infield. Hudson makes the catch. A nice play by Natalie Hudson coming in the infield. And that'll be 2 outs for Reese Furstenberg. Furstenberg is 0 for 1 today. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first and came around to score in the first. Now bats with 2 outs here in the second. The first pitch to Furstenberg is going to miss high on the fastball. 1-0 to the Pendleton designated player. The 2-0 count to Furstenberg. Settles back in. Campos back on the rubber. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's hit into left field. Coming in as Segura plays it on a hop. The throw into second is a little bit wild, but it'll be a 2-out single for Furstenberg. Brings up Sam Wilkes. Wilkes 1 for 1 today with a 2-run home run back in the first inning. Bats here with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. First pitch is called a strike as Campos fires in the fastball there. Deep home run to left for Wilkes last time up. The pitch is an off-speed pitch that Fitzpatrick frames real nicely for strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Sam Wilkes. Campos eyes down Fitzpatrick. The delivery is going to miss and kick to the backstop. Throw down to third will be late as they tried to get Murphy, but she advances to third. Advancing to second is Furstenberg. Now 2 runners in scoring position and a 1-2 count for the power-hitting third baseman of Pendleton. Here's a pitch. Check swing, but strike 3 called, and Campos works her way out of a jam here in the second. Score remains 3-2 with the Bucks leading the Hornets as we head to the bottom half of the second on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out, I lost motivation in eating healthy, and for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it, but the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, No, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week, and the next week, and soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes, and then going Saturdays, I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband, and all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
Getting ready for the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Ashlyn Cernowski, Samantha Moore, and Alana Benson due up this half for the Henley Lady Hornets. That's the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the order. First pitch is going to miss low, 1-0. And these three batters have done a fantastic job at getting the rally started this year for Henley. They've done a fantastic job of getting on base for the top of the lineup, which is littered with power bats, and it's how Henley has manufactured a lot of their runs this year, starting with girls like Cernowski, Moore, and Benson. Right now, Cernowski in a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. That one's going to miss low. 3-0, the count to Cernowski. Score 3-2 as we get ready in the bottom of the second inning at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a softball semifinal between the Hornets and the Pendleton Buckaroos. It's now a 3-1 count to Cernowski here in the bottom of the second inning. 3-1. Taken for a strike, Cernowski being patient, but the count runs full. 3-2. Here's the pitch from Murphy, fouled back, doing a nice job of staying alive in the at-bat is Cernowski. Steps back in. Kendall Murphy delivers the pitch. Swung on and missed, and down on strikes goes Cernowski. That'll bring up Samantha Moore. Back-to-back strikeouts for Murphy dating back to the last inning as Samantha Moore gets ready to step in. She was 0 for 3 on Friday against Crook County. A ground ball towards third. The throw to first from Wilkes is in time, and that will be the second out in the second inning. Brings up Alana Benson. Benson finished 0 for 2 in that game against Crook County last week. As we kind of talked about, these three batters kind of setting the table for Henley was not the case on Friday, but rather it was home runs at the top half of the order that really jolted Henley in front of Crook County, hoping to rebound today. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball foul, 1-1. Henley finds themselves down 1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch on its way from Murphy. It is popped foul, out of play. Count remains 1-2 to the Henley right fielder. Stepping back into the right-handed batter's box is Benson. Awaiting the pitch, takes that one in the dirt, and it bounced back up and hit her. So Benson on base now with 2 outs for Anna Harper. Harper singled and came around to score in the first. Yesterday for Harper, it was a 2 for 4 day with a home run and a single. She's already got a base hit today. Again with that single in the first. Harper steps in, awaits the first pitch. It's taken, and it'll be called strike 1 against the Henley center fielder, batting with 2 outs and a runner aboard at first. Trying to take off and take second. The throw is wild, winds up in center field, and Benson is safe at second. So now Harper with a runner in scoring position and a 1-1 count. As the infield backs up for Pendleton, takes that pitch high. 2-1. Harper ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Runner in scoring position is Benson. Harper takes that one, moves ahead in the count now, 3-1. Andy Campos on deck, hoping for an opportunity this inning. It's the tying run at second base. Harper ahead in the count, 3-1. Takes a hack, but fouls it off, and the count runs full. 3-2 to the Skyline Conference Player of the Year. Back in the circle now is Kendall Murphy. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, and Harper goes down on strikes. The Hornets leave one stranded. No base hits in the inning, and they still trail 3-2. We'll head now to the top of the third on 104.3 and 960 Sports with HD video on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Getting ready for the top of the third inning at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a softball semifinal. Due up this half inning for Pendleton is Avery Quimps, Avery Krigbaum, and Madeline Schumacher. That's 5, 6, and 7 in the Pendleton order. Due up here in the top of the third inning, a game in which Henley trails 3-2. Pitch from Campos is going to miss wide to Quimps. 2-0 now. Quimps is 1 for 1 today. She had doubled and came around to score in the first inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Campos working back into the at-bat. 2-0 the count now. Campos looks in, gathers the sign from Fitzpatrick. Sets up the sign as that's a fly ball hit into left field. And that's going to be Segura to make the grab for the first out. Krigbaum stepping in now for the Buckaroos. She doubled home a run in the first inning. Bats here at the base is empty and 1 out in the top of the third. Here's the pitch. Low in the dirt, bounces to the plate as Campos falls behind, 1-0. Henley infield playing about on the outfield grass for Krigbaum. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball. Hudson fields it, bobbles it. Throw on to first is going to be late, and Hudson bobbles that one trying to pick it up. Put that one in the books as an error as Krigbaum reaches first. Madeline Schumacher now stepping in. Reached on a walk and was left stranded in the first. One away in the top of the third, and it's a 3-2 ball game. Then Pendleton leads. The left-handed bat of Schumacher settles in. Here's the pitch from Campos. Taken outside, it'll be called a ball. Schumacher taking that one outside as well, 2-0. Campos bouncing that one to the dirt, 3-0 the count now to Schumacher. On deck is Josie Jenes, says that's a strike fired into the zone from Campos. Three-1 the count. The pitch. That's going to be sliced foul. Look out into the Pendleton dugout. Count runs full to Schumacher. Again, one away already in this inning. Campos trying to keep this a one-run ball game. Both teams scoring all of their runs so far in the first. Were held scoreless in the second. And now Pendleton an opportunity with an early base runner here in the third. Full count pitch to Schumacher. Campos on the rubber. Kicks and delivers. It's a high pitch to the backstop it goes, and that'll be a walk. Advanced Krigbaum to second as Schumacher reaches first for Josie Jenes. Grounded out to second base her first time up. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, Campos snags it, cuts down the lead runner at third, and that is all the Hornets will get, but a smart decision by Campos on the comebacker to cut down Krigbaum. Puts Jenes aboard at first after a fielder's choice. Schumacher to second, but 2 outs in the inning for Kendall Murphy. Murphy is 1 for 1 today, singled in the second inning, was left stranded. And there's a timeout some sort. Looks like we've got it figured out. All right, stepping back in now is Murphy. Awaiting the first pitch to her. Is taken for a strike to Kendall Murphy as Campos jumps in front, 0-1. Two runners on and 2 outs in the third. The pitch. Bounces, Fitzpatrick blocks it. But a tough pitch to do anything with for Fitzpatrick. Is advancing, is going to be Jenes to second, Schumacher to third. Situation changes, although not that much for Murphy. Now with 2 runners in scoring position, just more of an impactful at-bat. Here's the pitch from Campos. Misses high. 2-2 now to Murphy. Here's the pitch coming home. Ground ball foul. Count remains 2-2 to Kendall Murphy with 2 outs in the third. Back to the top of the order next for Melanie Bodeman for the Bucks. Fitzpatrick gives the sign, sets up on the inside part of the plate against Murphy. Here's the pitch from Campos. Off-speed pitch, Frozer, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. Way to pull the string from Andy Campos. Leaves 2 stranded for the Bucks, but Pendleton still leads 3-2 as we head to the bottom half of the third on mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Be great.
Getting ready for the bottom of the third inning, and Pendleton leads Henley 3-2. As we get set for Henley in the third, it's going to be Annie Campos, Lily Fitzpatrick, and Natalie Hudson. Campos stepping in now. First pitch is a hard grounder. That'll wind up into center field. And a leadoff single for Annie Campos in the third. Lily Fitzpatrick stepping in now. She's 1 for 1 with a 2 RBI double back in the first inning. Jewel Northcutt comes in to run for Campos. The tying run out there on first base. First pitch to Fitzpatrick, swung underneath, but timed well from Fitzpatrick. 0-1. Fitzpatrick settles back into the right-handed batter's box, awaits the 0-1 pitch. That one is going to be fouled off, and the count goes to 0-2. We talked about it last time. Fitzpatrick, a great 2-strike hitter. In fact, got her double in the first inning in a 2-strike count. See how she approaches it now. With nobody out here in the third. Here's the pitch to Fitzpatrick. That one is hit into center field, and that will get down. Another 2-strike base hit for Fitzpatrick. Puts 2 runners on base in the third inning. Nice compact 2-strike swing there. Keeps this thing alive. Natalie Hudson to bat now. 0 for 1 with a ground out. I believe that it'd be Whitaker in to run again. Hudson getting a sign from third base coach and head coach Stock. See if anything's on here. The pitch is going to be in the dirt. And that's going to advance 2 runners for the Hornets with nobody out. Natalie Hudson with the tying and go-ahead runs on base in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. It's going to miss wide. Count now 2-0 to Hudson. Lily Segura on deck. And the pitch. That's going to miss down and in. 3-0 the count to Natalie Hudson. Murphy in danger of loading the bases for the middle of this Henley order. The pitch. That one's going to find the zone. 3-1. Look to be on the inside corner for Hudson. Murphy swings, twists, and fires. That pitch low, and a 5-pitch walk for Hudson brings up Lily Segura with the bases juiced. Segura reached base on a fielder's choice her last time up, hoping for a little bit more damage here in the third inning with the bases loaded, down by 1. Big at bat about halfway through this semifinal game as that pitch will find the zone. 0-1. Winner here advances to the state championship game at Jane Sanders Stadium on the campus of University of Oregon. That pitch will find the outer third. A nice job by Jen S. to make that pitch look pretty for an 0-2 count to Lily Segura. And the pitch home. Fouled off. Count will remain 0-2 to Segura. Trying to stay alive in this pressure-packed at-bat. On deck is Isabel Birch. Segura waits the 0-2 pitch and lines one foul down the right field line. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Misses high. Way to lay off that one from Segura's. Those high fastballs can look enticing, but now it's a 1-2 count to Segura. That one misses as well. That one almost getting away from the catcher, Jenes, whose account now moves to 2-2. Patience paying off this at-bat from Segura as the count is now even. And the 2-2. Off-speed pitch will be called strike 3 against Segura. Now 1 away for Isabel Birch. The bases are still loaded. Birch 0 for 1 today, struck out in the first. Kendall Murphy a step closer of working out of this jam. But that's a ground ball towards short. They're going to go home with it. The throw is not in time, and the Hornets tie it up. RBI fielder's choice for Isabel Birch ties this game up at 3 in the bottom of the third. And that will bring up Ashlyn Cernowski hitting for Susie Nichols is the designated player. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball foul. Cernowski so far in the game is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Now behind at the count 0-1 here. Big decision for Quimps to go home on that ground ball, but Northcutt beating the throw. Tie game. Laying down bunt. Pitch in the dirt. Everyone stays put, and I believe Cernowski pulled back in time. A ball and a strike. Cernowski stepping back in. Now it's 1-2 after that foul ball to Cernowski. Samantha Moore waits on deck. And the pitch. That one misses inside, and as a matter of fact, hits Cernowski. And that will drive in a run. An RBI hit by pitch as Henley now takes a 4-3 lead. First pitch misses to Samantha Moore, who is 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. That one will miss as well. 2-0 the count to Samantha Moore, who again is 0 for 1 today, grounded out in the second inning. That one's hit into left field. That'll get down. 1 run scores, and that'll be it. Scoring from third is Hudson. An RBI single for Samantha Moore. An RBI moves Cernowski to second, Birch to third, and gives her team a 2-run cushion here in the third. It's now 5-3 Hornets. Meeting in the circle in the infield gives us time to remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab does more than install just tires and wheels. You can come on in for a free pre-trip safety check. They're going to help make sure that everything is in working order at Les Schwab Tires. All right, conference in the circle has dispersed here in the bottom of the third inning. The Hornets lead 5-3, just 1 out, and the base is loaded for Alana Benson. There's Benson there in a big situation, hoping to keep this rally alive in the third. Gather some more insurance about halfway through this ball game. The pitch in the dirt, blocked by Jen S. Ground ball towards third. Wilkes up with it. The throw home for 1, and they get the 1. So Birch is cut down for the second out. Cernowski advances to third. Moore to second. Benson aboard at first after the fielder's choice. Now it's to the top of the order for Anna Harper. Two outs and the bases loaded for Harper. The first pitch skips away from Jen S., and a run is gonna be safe. Delayed call there at the plate. Held everyone's breath, but the run is safe at home. 6-3 Henley. All right, so now Harper with 2 runners in scoring position, and the 1-0 count takes that one. It's Moore advanced to third. Benson at second now for Harper, who is 1 for 2 today with a single and a strikeout in each of the first 2 innings. 2-0 count to Harper. It'll be taken for a strike. Harper settles back in, awaiting the 2-1. Takes that one inside. 3-1. The count now to Harper. On deck is Annie Campos, who got this whole party started in this third inning. The pitch. That's hit high but foul. 4 runs already in to score this inning for Henley as they now lead by 3. It's 6-3 in the semifinals. Full count pitch to Anna Harper. Swung on and missed, and that will end the inning. But the Hornets do score 4. They lead 6-3 as we head to the top of the 4th on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Back with you on mybasin.com for the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a softball semifinal between the Hornets of Henley High School and the Bucks of Pendleton High School, 6-3 in the top of the fourth inning. And the first pitch will be called a strike to the leadoff hitter this inning, Melanie Boatman. 0 for 2 today with a pair of punch-outs, as Campos has pitched nicely in the previous 2 innings after giving up 3 in the first. Here's the 0-1 count to Boatman. Swung on and missed. Campos with the elevated fastball there. And the 0-2 on the way is swung on and missed, and Campos sets down Boatman for the 3rd time today. And that will bring up Ella Sams, who is 1 for 2, a single and a flyout in the first and second innings. And many fans here at Henley High School, as well as following this game, have also been following the Oregon Tech Lady Owls in their trip at the NAIA Softball World Series. Right now in Oregon Tech's second game of the day, they are leading Cumberland 2-0 in the top of the fourth. 0-1 the count to Ella Sams. Campos with the delivery. That is a fly ball into foul territory, and Nichols unable to rein that one in foul territory. Count moves to 0-2. Sam settles in. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's fouled back. Sam staying alive in the at-bat. Five strikeouts today for Annie Campos, with 1 out in the fourth. Here's the pitch. That one's low in the dirt. To this point in the ball game for Pendleton, they've scored 3 runs on 6 hits. They've only committed 1 error, but they've left 6 runners on base in this ball game. Here's the 0-2. Taken for strike 3 called. Campos back-to-back Ks to start the fourth, 3 in a row dating back to last inning. And in steps Reese Furstenberg. Furstenberg is 1 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a single in the first and second innings. Here's the first pitch to Furstenberg. That one's hit in the air, but well fouled out of play, 0-1. On deck is Sam Wilkes, hoping for an opportunity this inning as they have the outfield back quite a few steps. Pitch to Furstenberg is in the dirt. A ball and a strike now. The count to the Pendleton designated player. Henley infield back playing on the outfield grass as well. Here's the 1-1. That is lined into right field, but Benson comes in and makes the catch, and the Bucks go down in order in the fourth inning. Henley still leads 6-3 as we head to the bottom half of the fourth on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
And welcome you back to mybasin.com for our continuing coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinal between the Henley Hornets and the Pendleton Buckaroos. So far in the bottom of the fourth inning, it's 6-3 and Henley leads. It'll be Annie Campos, Lily Fitzpatrick, and Natalie Hudson leading off this fourth inning as Campos takes a cut and fouls it off. 0-1 count to the Henley pitcher. She is 1 for 2 today. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Singled, came around to score in the third. Well, actually, Northcutt came around to score on her behalf, but Campos takes the pitch there. 1-1. Campos waits the 1-1. That pitch will miss high. Campos showing some patience. Ahead in the count now, 2-1. For the Hornets today, 6 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, and they've left 4 runners on base so far. That pitch to Campos, low, 3-1. Campos lines one into center field, and that'll be a leadoff single for Annie Campos. Trying to get another rally started here in the fourth, and what a way to do it with her second base hit of the day. That'll bring Jewel Northcutt in to run for Campos. And Lily Fitzpatrick to bat now, who's 2 for 2 with a double and a single. 2 RBIs to go along with it. The pitch to Fitzpatrick. It's taken 1-0. Pitch will find the zone. A ball and a strike to the power hitting Henley catcher. Pendleton outfield. Few steps deep as the 1-1 pitch is lined into right center field, and that'll bounce over the fence. A ground rule double for Lily Fitzpatrick, puts 2 runners in scoring position for Natalie Hudson. Second double of the day for Fitzpatrick. Hudson batting now, with Whitaker coming in to run. Hudson today is 0 for 1, grounded out in the first and walked in the third. Opportunity now with 2 runners in scoring position to try to extend upon this lead. The first pitch swung on and missed. A little bit late on the fastball was Hudson. Henley already up 3. Scored 4 runs last half inning. Here's the 0-1. That one will find the zone as well. A nice frame job by Jen S. behind the dish for Pendleton. Makes the count 0-2 for Hudson. That is hit in the air into center field, down for a base hit. Northcutt is going to score. They're going to keep Whitaker at third, but the Hornets extend this lead now 7-3. And that'll bring up Lily Segura. Segura 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice in the first and struck out in the third. Already one run home this inning for Henley. And runners at the corners. On third, it's Whitaker. Hudson at first, showing bunt. That one is going to be down foul. Corners in for Pendleton, the middle infield ready for a double play. 0-1 the count to Segura. And the pitch. One will miss outside. Even in the count, a ball and a strike. And as we've scored in this game here, the Hornets up 7-3. We'll check in on the Oregon Tech Lady Owls, but first a pitch hit deep into center. Lily Segura with a 3-run blast. Touch third, young lady, and head on home. Hornets lead 10-3. Right as we're trying to take a break to check the score of the Owls, and that'll be Segura drawing our attention back to this game. Score 10-3, and Oregon Tech, by the way, still leading Cumberland. So you just want to finish that. They're in the bottom of the fourth, and Tech leads 2-0. Klamath Falls on the up and up come playoff time. Bring up Isabel Birch with the bases empty and nobody out. And we've got a new pitcher for Pendleton. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll get you caught up on all the changes. Coming up as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinal on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
We jump into this inning back in progress as it'll be a ground out for Isabel Birch. 4-3 in the books as we welcome a new pitcher into the ballgame for Pendleton. It's Reese Furstenberg coming in relief of Kendall Murphy, who gave up 10 runs in 3 innings pitched. 9 base hits as well against Murphy. Furstenberg, a tall task to try to keep things where they are in the bottom of the 4th inning, a game that Henley leads by 7. Here's the pitch. Looked like it might have slipped out of Furstenberg's hand. That pitch is grounded foul. 5 strikeouts also for Kendall Murphy to end her afternoon. She would be on the hook for the loss if this lead stands for the Hornets. A 1-2 count to Cernowski, and the pitch is in the dirt, 2-2. Second time Furstenberg has let that one roll in the dirt. 2-2. The pitch. Checks the swing. Did she go? She did not. Cernowski gifted a second life, and it's a full count. Pitch swung on and missed, and down goes Cernowski. That'll bring up Samantha Moore, who's 1 for 2 today. Moore grounded out in the second, singled in a run in the third, and takes a strike there. 0-1, the count to the Henley second baseman. That pitch misses from Furstenberg. Having tough finishing that pitch there, as it might be some kind of grip issue on a breaking ball potentially, as she seems to find the zone on the other pitches, but that one misses low as well. 2-1. That one will miss. 3-1. The count to Samantha Moore as Alana Benson waits on deck. Ground ball towards third. Wilkes gloves it, and the throw to first is in time. And that will finally set down the side, but not before the Hornets score 4. 3 of them on a blast from Lily Segura. We head now to the top of the 5th with Henley leading 10-3. On the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinals on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Back on mybasin.com with the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinal between the Hornets and the Buckaroos. 10-3, Henley leads Pendleton here in the top of the 5th inning, and it'll be Sam Wilkes, Avery Quimps, and Avery Krigbaum due up in the 5th inning. It's been 10 unanswered runs that the Hornets have scored in this ball game. All 3 of the Bucks runs coming in the top of the 1st as the 1-0 pitch finds the zone, and the count even now at 1. 2 runs in the 1st for the Hornets, 4 in the 3rd, and 4 in the 4th have built their 10 runs in the ball game. Here's the 1-1 home. Swing and a miss, a ball and 2 strikes to Sam Wilkes. And as we've done periodically throughout today's broadcast, check it in on the Oregon Tech Lady Owls, who are at the NAIA Softball World Series. Tech leads 2-0 in the top of the 5th. Swing and a miss here as Wilkes goes down on strikes for the first out in the 5th. And that brings up Avery Quimps. Quimps 1 for 2 today with a double in the 1st, flew out in the 3rd. Here's the first pitch to her now. It's in the dirt, 1-0. Henley came into today's game with the #1 seeding in the tournament. Pendleton, 4th best seed, the 1-0 count. It'll be taken high, 2-0. Haven't talked much about the other semifinal going on today. As a matter of fact, started about a half hour ago. The Dalles hosting Scappoose. Try our best to keep you updated on that game in a little while. Here's the 2-0. Pitch misses high, 3-0. And that'll be called a strike, 3-1 to Crimson. As we just talked about that other semifinal matchup, it looks like after 4 innings, or pardon me, we'll try to recap that score as the 3-1 is swung at and missed high. Pardon me, still waiting on a score update from the 4A semifinal. Full count pitch to Quims. It is popped up, deep into left field. That one is going to be robbed by Anna Harper at the fence. A high fly ball stolen from the Skyline Conference Player of the Year. Way to leave your mark on the defensive end. High fives all around on the robbed home run for Anna Harper. Brings up Avery Krigbaum, and those are the kinds of plays you make when you want your team to head to the state championship game. Henley up 10-3, 2 outs in the 5th. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, foul down the third base line, and it's one of those balls that didn't look like much off the bat, but it catches that wind current coming out here to left center field. That ball carried over the fence and into Anna Harper's glove. My goodness. 0-1 count to Krigbaum. And the pitch. Off-speed pitch. Campos froze Krigbaum. 0-2. That one is going to be a ball on the outside. Looked close, but again ruled outside. A ball and 2 strikes to Krigbaum. 1 for 2 today. Doubled home run in the first, reached on an error in the third. Campos delivers. That'll miss high. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Campos. For Campos to Krigbaum. A little bit of drizzle happening here at Henley High School. Still 71 degrees. Again, we mentioned there's been a little bit of rain on and off throughout the afternoon, but most of it avoided. A couple of droplets here. 2-2 count. 3-2 count. After that one misses wide. Campos again ready with the full count pitch. Delivers. It's going to be flared to first and caught by Birch in foul territory. Some heroic defense here in the 5th as the Hornets lead 10-3 as we head to the bottom half as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinal on mybasin.com.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
It'll be 9-1 and 2 in the Henley order to lead things off in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's Alana Benson, Anna Harper, and Annie Campos. The Hornets find themselves up 10-3 in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a softball semifinal. Again, weather slowly becoming a factor. Mostly cloudy this afternoon, but a couple of droplets might make things interesting. All right, Alana Benson stepping in now. First pitch to Benson is going to be called strike one. So far today for the Henley right fielder, she was hit by a pitch and left stranded in the second, reached on a fielder's choice and left to the same fate in the third. This time a line drive snagged by the first baseman Boatman for the first out. Back to the top of the Hornets order for Anna Harper. Harper today 1 for 3, singled in the first and has been struck out twice since then. Here's the pitch. That one is going to find the zone, 0-1. Harper lines an off-speed pitch right to shortstop. Second out this inning. That'll bring up Annie Campos, who is 2 for 3 today, reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Singled in the third and fourth innings. Her run has come in to score twice, courtesy of Jewel Northcutt on the base paths. Here's the pitch to Annie Campos. It is going to be called a ball, I believe. The 1-0 pitch grounded towards short. Up with it, and the throw onto first is in time, and the Hornets go down in order in the 5th inning. They still lead 10-3 as we head to the top half of the 6th. As we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a softball semifinal on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home.
I just saw your face. I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Gearing up for the bottom of the sixth inning at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a softball semifinal. Pendleton coming up big in the top half of the sixth inning, scoring 6 runs to make it a 1-run ball game. We're in the bottom of the sixth. It's 10-9, and Lily Fitzpatrick leading things off. An off-speed pitch misses, makes the count a ball and a strike to Fitzpatrick, who is 3 for 3 today with a double, a single, and another double. She's got 2 RBIs today. Here's the pitch. That one will find the zone. 1-2 to Fitzpatrick in a game that's far from over now. 1-2. Fitzpatrick hits one off the end of the bat, foul down the first base line. We'll do it again, a ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball hit towards third. Wilkes up with it. The throw on to first in time, and a routine ground ball as Fitzpatrick is set down. This will bring up Natalie Hudson, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI. That one misses 2 are there, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Hudson, swung on and missed. Ball and a strike, and as we've done periodically today, we'll check in on the Oregon Tech Lady Owls as they lead 3-0 in the top of the 7th inning. That one is popped into foul territory. A ball and 2 strikes to Natalie Hudson. Of course, the Oregon Tech Owls, the NAIA Softball World Series. Trying to come back and play in the championship games tomorrow. Here's a pitch. Hudson waits that one out, 2-2. That one misses low, and the count runs full, 3-2 to Natalie Hudson. Hornets now just leading by 1, hoping to get a couple runners on base, knock in some more insurance. Be a long way here in the 6th inning. Ground ball towards first, routinely touched on the bag did Boatman, and that's 2 quick outs in the 6th. Brings up Segura. Hit a 3-run home run to dead center field in the 4th inning. Helped build what at the time was a 7-run lead, has shrunk down to 1. First pitch misses high, 1-0. If you're wondering, for Pendleton in the 7th, it'll be 8-9-1 in their order to try and save the season. 2-0 the count now to Lily Segura. The pitch. Segura fouls it off, 2-1. Two outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Ground ball towards short. Up with it. The throw on to Bowman is in time. The Hornets go down in order in the 6th inning. They lead by 1 as we head to the top of the 7th as the Hornets try to punch their ticket to the state championship next. We'll find out if they can close this one out next on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Top of the 7th inning at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a softball semifinal. The Hornets lead the Bucks 10-9 as Pendleton gets ready to try and save their season. Here's the first pitch. It'll be taken for a strike to Josie Genest and Kendall Murphy, then Melanie Boatman to bat for Pendleton. That's 8-9-1 in the Bucks order. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Annie Campos. A check swing, she held up in time. A ball and a strike. The Hornets 3 outs away from heading back to the state championship game for the first time since 2019. Pendleton trying to get back there for a consecutive season. The 1-1. Ground ball back up the middle. That is going to be into center field. A base hit, the tying run on base. Hornets in a similar situation last week when they cut down the tying run twice in the final inning against Crook County. Might take some similar heroics to close out Pendleton here. We'll see as Kendall Murphy steps in. 2 for 3 today with a double, a single, and a strikeout. She's showing bunt, lays that one down foul. Ten to 9 in the top of the 7th. What has been a great semifinal game so far. 0-1 the count to Murphy. Campos back in the circle. Looks in, twists and fires. That pitch comes in high, and I believe that's going to hit Murphy. And now the tying run is at second. Costly blunder by Campos there, as that's the go-ahead run on first for Melanie Boatman. Boatman is 0 for 4 today, but she reached on an error and came around to score last inning. And we're going to have a meeting in the circle as Coach Stock comes out of the dugout. And with this pause in the action, we'll remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. Also, by Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union can help you reach your goals. All right, top of the 7th inning, and Henley leads by 1, but the tying and go-ahead runs are on base for Pendleton And it's back to the top of the order for Melanie Boatman. First pitch to Boatman. She's showing bunt. Pulls back. It's a ball, 1-0. Campos delivers the 1-0, showing bunt again. This time Boatman pulls back, but it's called a strike. 1-1. Throw down to third is into the outfield, and that could score a run, and it will. Pendleton ties the game in the 7th on a throwing error from the Hornets. What a turn of events here as we are tied up at 10, and the go-ahead run in scoring position for Pendleton. And it looks like we've got a runner coming in for Pendleton. On the base paths is going to be Madeline Llewellyn. Count a ball and a strike to Boatman. Shows bunt. It's foul. A ball and 2 strikes now. One run home in the 7th for Pendleton, enough to tie this ball game. Here's the 2-strike delivery from Campos. That one's gonna miss. Fitzpatrick can't hold on to it. Throw down to third, there is none. And Murphy advancing to third after Fitzpatrick couldn't squeeze it. Line drive, bounces towards second. They're going to try to go home with it, and she is out at the plate. Cut down the go-ahead run for the first out in the inning, but Boatman reaches second on the fielder's choice. Score remains tied at 10 for Ella Sams. Sams today, 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. The pitch is going to bounce foul, 0-1. Already 1 run home for Pendleton in the 7th. Runner aboard at second is Boatman, the pitch. That one is going to be popped foul. The count moves to 0-2 for Ella Sams. On deck is Reese Furstenberg. Campos back in the circle with a 2-strike count and 1 away in the 7th. Gathers the sign from Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick sets up on the outside. It's a pitch in the dirt. Fitzpatrick, it kicks away from her, and advancing to third is Boatman. Ball and 2 strikes now to Sams with the go-ahead run sitting at third. Infield for Henley comes in to try to cut down the lead runner. Henley infield communicating. It's key late in these ball games. A 1-2 count. The delivery from Campos. It's a ground ball towards third. Nichols knocks it down. The throw home is in time. They cut down the runner again. Tied up at 10 with 2 outs in the 7th. Aboard at first is Sams. Reese Furstenberg now. The go-ahead run at first. First pitch to Furstenberg. Swung on and missed, 0-1. And if you're wondering, for the Hornets, due up in the bottom half, it's Birch, Cernowski, and Moore. Campos with the 1-1. That one's going to find the zone. A ball and 2 strikes as Campos painted the outer third. Furstenberg going to choke up in a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch from Campos. That is going to miss outside in a very similar spot as the last pitch, but called a ball. You can hear the groans from the Henley fans in the outfield. 2-2. Campos has to shake it off. Short memory. Here's the 2-2. Fouled back. And Furstenberg staying alive. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the 7th. Campos delivers to Furstenberg. It's popped up in foul territory, out of play. We'll do it again. This at bat, most important of the game thus far. It's felt like it's dragged on for ages. The 2-2. We'll do it again with Campos against Furstenberg. Here's the delivery from Campos. It's lined, hit hard into right field. That is going to bounce over the wall and will likely save a run. A ground rule double stops the lead runner at third as Sams has to put on the brakes, and that brings up Sam Wilkes. You almost like that it bounced over the wall, that stopped a runner from almost certainly scoring. As Furstenberg with the ground rule double brings up Sam Wilkes. Wilkes homered back in the first. She's also singled in the 6th. Couple that with a pair of strikeouts, you've got a 2-for-4 day with 3 RBI. Pardon me, 2 RBIs. Swung on and missed. 0-1 in the count to Wilkes. Go ahead, run at third, 2 outs in the 7th. The pitch from Campos is in the dirt. Fitzpatrick stays in front of it. It's going to be key in this at-bat for Fitzpatrick. Generally, hard work behind the dish. But you got to save your best right here for crunch time. A ball and a strike to Wilkes. Campos delivers. Swung on and missed on the off-speed pitch. Campos ahead 1-2 to Wilkes. Sams at third. Furstenberg at second. Campos ready with the 1-2 pitch. Gets the sign from Fitzpatrick. Kicks and delivers. It's a ground ball. It's fair down the first base line, or I believe they called it foul. They did. We never got a signal from the base umpire, but I believe the consensus is that it's foul. And so we'll do it again, 1-2. Campos ready again with the 2-strike offering. Here it is. A check swing and held up in time. 2-2 to Wilkes. Campos pitches. Swung on and missed, and the go-ahead run left stranded. And we head to the bottom half of the 7th. The Hornets a chance to walk it off. We're knotted at 10 going to the bottom of the 7th. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinal on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Bottom of the 7th inning, tied in the state semifinal, and the Hornets batting Birch, Cernowski, and Moore. Tied at 10 in the bottom half of the 7th. Here's the first pitch. Taken for a strike to Isabel Birch. She is 0 for 3 today, a strikeout, fielder's choice, and a ground out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Off speed, 1-1. The Bucks scored 6th in the 6th and 1 in the 7th, along with 3 more in the 1st to tie this thing up at 10. That is a hard line drive foul in the Hornets dugout. The count is now 0-2 to Isabel Birch. Furstenberg still in the circle for Pendleton. Has been pitching since the 3rd inning. That is a slow rolling ground ball to 3rd. The throw to 1st is in time for the first out. That brings up Ashlyn Cernowski. She is 0 for 2 today with a couple of strikeouts. She was also hit by a pitch and came around to score. Cernowski awaits the first pitch. Swung on and bounced foul, 0-1. Off-speed pitch misses high to Cernowski. Furstenberg hasn't really been able to place that breaking ball, but her placement of the fastball has been so great. Henley's only scored a couple of runs off of her as that pitch misses. 2-1. 2 runs in the 1st, 4 in the 3rd, and the 4th for the Hornets. The pitch. That one will miss. 3-1. The count to Cernowski with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th of a tie ball game. The 3-1. Swung on and missed, and the count goes full to Cernowski. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. Throw on to 1st for the 2nd out. And for Furstenberg, she has retired every Hornets batter that she's faced so far in the game. That pitch misses, 1-0. That's 9 consecutive batters set down for Furstenberg. There's the pitch. That is flared and caught by the 3rd baseman on a leap. Wilkes makes a nice catch to end the 7th. We're headed to extras in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinal on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
We're in extras at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinal at Henley High School, where the Hornets and the Bucks are tied at 10. Here's the first pitch to Quimps. It misses high. It'll be Quimps, Krigbaum, and Schumacher due up for Pendleton in the top half of inning number 8. Here's the pitch from Campos. That one will find the zone. Ball and a strike to Quims. That pitch swung on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes to Quimps, pardon me. As Campos trying to keep things where they are, tied up at 10 in the top of the 8th. 1-2. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, and Campos sets down Quims for the first out in the 8th. That's Campos' 10th strikeout of the day coming here in the 8th inning. Brings up Avery Krigbaum. First pitch to Krigbaum. It's popped up out of play. Krigbaum is 1 for 4, has reached on an error twice today, once in the 3rd, once in the 6th. She also doubled home a run in the 1st. 1 out in the 8th for Krigbaum. And Campos is back on the rubber. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. And as we are in extra innings today at Henley High School, we'll take a look at the Oregon Tech Lady Owls, who have shut out Columbia 3-0 to advance to the World Series championship game. That ball popped into the air, into left field, but foul. Count now 1-2. You'll be able to catch Lady Owls games tomorrow afternoon on 104.3 and 960 Sports with Mike Safford. 1-2. The count to Krigbaum. Campos ready to deliver. Here's the pitch. Taken for a ball. High out of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one misses as well. 3-2 on the outside fastball. And Campos ready for the full count pitch. Here it is. That's fouled off, and it looked like it might have got Krigbaum in the leg on the foul ball. Count remains full, 3-2. Campos ready to pitch, awaiting home plate umpire to wipe off the plate. Now ready with a full count delivery. Campos steps, kicks, delivers. Pop-up foul behind home plate. We'll do it again. 3-2. A trip to the state championship game on the line for the winner here. Headed to Jane Sanders Stadium on the campus of the University of Oregon in Eugene. Henley looking to head back for the first time since 2019, where state runner-up that year. Won it in 2017. Pendleton, the defending state champion. Full count. That is popped foul once more in a battle at the plate between Krigbaum and Campos. And looking back at some of these other at-bats, it's kind of been a common theme today between these two. So we'll do it again. It's a full count. Here's the pitch from Campos. Swung on and missed, and Krigbaum down on strikes. Brings up Madeline Schumacher. Schumacher, a couple of walks, a strikeout, and a ground out so far in this game, batting with 2 outs here in the 8th. Pitch from Campos. Ground ball foul, 0-1. A 1 pitch on the way to Schumacher. That one will find the zone. Looked a bit low, but called a strike. 0-2, the count to Schumacher. Campos sets and fires. Held up in time, a ball and 2 strikes to Schumacher. On deck is Josie Jenes, hoping for a chance for Pendleton. Campos hoping to set him down in order. 3 strikeouts in a row dating back to last inning for Campos, and ahead in the count here, a ball and 2 strikes to Schumacher. Here's the pitch. Low in the dirt, 2-2. Campos back in the circle, ready to deliver the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Campos strikes out the side to head to the bottom of the 8th. We're still tied up at 10 at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball quarterfinal on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Bottom of the 8th inning at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinal. It's Alana Benson, Anna Harper, Annie Campos to try to send things home. Here's the first pitch of the 8th. Taken high for a ball, 1-0 to Benson, who's 0 for 2 today. She was hit by a pitch in the 2nd, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, and flew out in the 5th. Called a strike A ball and a strike now to Alana Benson. Here's the pitch to Benson. That one misses, 2-1. Tied up at 10 for the Hornets in this ball game. 10 runs on 12 hits. They have committed 3 errors and left 4 runners on base. Here's the 2-1. That one misses. 3-1 for the Bucks today. 10 runs on 12 hits. They have committed 1 error and left 7 runners on base as it's a leadoff walk for Alana Benson. Winning run on base for Anna Harper. Skyline Conference Player of the Year batting now. She is 1 for 4 today. A couple of strikeouts, a line out, and a single. Here's the first pitch to Harper. Showing bunt. Misses there. The throw down to second is in time. And that stifles some momentum this inning with 1 out now for Harper. But still not over yet. Here's the 0-1 to Harper. In the dirt. Ball and a strike. Bouncing ball towards the middle into center field, and Harper with a 1-out single. Gets a run back on base for Annie Campos. Campos with a runner on first. She is 2 for 4 today. Couple of base hits and a ground out along with a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch. Campos takes the first one, 1-0. Don't think anything fancy on for Annie here with 1 out and runner at first. Probably just going to let her swing away. She's ahead in the count, 1-0. Takes a pitch outside, 2-0 now to Campos. On deck is Lily Fitzpatrick. The pitch to Campos. Hard ground ball into center field. Harper's going to stay put at second. 2 runners on with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th for Lily Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick today 3 for 4 with an RBI double in the first. She's also singled and doubled along with grounded out in this ball game. Winning go-ahead run on second base is the Hornets, and Lily Fitzpatrick fight for a state title berth. The pitch to Fitzpatrick is hit, and that's going to get down. They're going to be a throw to third, and everybody's safe. The bases are loaded as Lily Fitzpatrick, a single, loads them up for the cleanup hitter Hudson. Natalie Hudson 1 for 3 today, a couple of ground outs and a single. So we've got a meeting in the circle for Pendleton. Winning run at third for Henley, as the infield will probably come in here. Natalie Hudson, a tall task at the plate. As the meeting in the circle has concluded, Furstenberg still in the circle. And Whitaker on first, Northcutt on second, but most importantly, Anna Harper at third for Natalie Hudson. The cleanup hitter batting with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball gets through, and that's going to score Harper, and the Hornets are headed to the championship. Mobbed at the plate is Anna Harper, and far away is Natalie Hudson. The Hornets are back in the state championship game as they win this one 11-10 in a walk-off extra innings victory. We'll be back as we'll recap it all for you as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A softball semifinal on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account to retirement planning and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Final score from Henley High School. The Hornets are headed to Jane Sanders Stadium at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a state championship game after taking the semifinal in extras 11-10 over the Pendleton Buckaroos. The walk-off base hit and winning RBI credited to Natalie Hudson this afternoon as Anna Harper scored the winning run, and the Hornets edged the Bucks in extras 11-10. They will play on Saturday against either Scappoose or the Dalles, and trying to find out who's leading that game or anything like that right now, but can't seem to find anything on OSAA.org or otherwise. But keep your eyes on OSAA.org and find out who the Hornets will meet in Eugene on Saturday afternoon. This, unfortunately, was our last video broadcast of the season, but we will be live with you from Eugene on the radio on 104.3 and 960 Sports to finish out our coverage of a championship bid for the Henley Hornets in 2023, making it back there for the first time in 4 years. Congratulations to the Hornets and also Pendleton for making it this far in what was a fantastic season for them. The top-seeded Hornets headed to the state title game after winning this one 11-10. My name is Josh Eldridge. I hope to see you on Saturday up in Eugene. or listening on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Saying so long for the final time this season from Henley High School.